Plaintiff Darla Crosby Weaver says the defendant and his wife are her neighbors, and she has had nothing but problems with them. Darla claims the defendant's wife even accused her of having an affair with the defendant, and Darla's suing him today because his dogs viciously attacked her dog. Defendant Joseph Funes admits that his wife is jealous and even called Darla over a misunderstanding, but he claims it's because he's a good catch and everyone knows it. Joseph admits that he initially agreed to pay for the vet bills, but now he doesn't believe his dogs were at fault.
Prove your case.
Mr. Funes and his wife are our neighbors, and since they moved in approximately 10 to 11 years ago. We've been on our property 13 years. And ever since they moved in, it seems like we've had one problem after another.
Like what?
After they had moved in, it was approximately, I'd say, 2 to 3 years, and I received a phone call. I played the recorder back, and there was a woman ranting and raving, I better watch my back. Something about he was her husband, and she was watching me, and I better watch out what I was doing. And I was bewildered. I wasn't sure what the call was. My husband was asking me what was going on. What was I doing? Yes.
Yeah, like what the hell?
And I was also wondering what was going on.
Yeah, right.
And we played it over and over, and it finally, I recognized the voice. And it was my neighbor's.
Oh, you had him?
Yeah. Look at my husband. Do I want him? I don't think so. So we promptly went across and called them out.
What did you find out? The reason?
Actually, he said his wife was a little unstable.
Okay.
And it was all a mix-up.
I'm just curious, sir. Did this happen?
Well, Your Honor, I've known them for over 10 years. They've been good neighbors to me. I didn't know it was any problem to them. I do construction. I have 8 acres next to their 5 acres, and we have a flat, regular wire fence across our property. I bring topsoil to my land, and they've asked me if they can bring topsoil to their land. Evidently, she had called and left a message for me to call her. My wife thinks women's calling me, you know, I'm a good catch. So people call me all the time, and my wife doesn't like that.
So women call you all the time.
Well, people do call once in a while. My wife called and left a message. Didn't know it was sweet old Darla.
Okay. All she knows, she saw a number or she heard a message from a woman.
She left a message, and it was just a big misunderstanding.
What did she say on that message? She had to say something on that message.
Well, I don't know. I didn't want to know.
You don't know?
I don't know what the message. What she said.
Oh, you never heard it.
I never heard it, but I got an idea of what it is.
State your name.
I'm Patria Funes.
All right. What was the message that provoked you to call?
Actually, there wasn't a message. It was a number on a matchbook. And so when you're married to a guy like this, if his leash is very long, he's going to get all tangled up and go fall down in it. So I did call, but I didn't say anything that Darla has said. All he said is, hey, Darla, Joe is my husband. You better watch it, girl. And my bad. But like I said.
Is that what you do to all the women that call?
No,
him?
that's the first time I ever called anyone's number.
Okay.
But there's been a lot of them.
There's been a lot of women calling?
A lot of numbers.
Okay.
I told you it was a good catch.
I mean, it's not your fault, right?
Not my fault. Everybody wants me.
Hey, and you don't,
maybe
you
she
don't
doesn't.
necessarily follow up in trying to cheat, right?
Yes.
You do.
I try to follow up and not cheat.
Oh, you followed up and not cheat?
Yeah, not cheat. Just keep everything calm.
All right, good.
But, you know, women, they have their own way of thinking.
Keep coming at you.
Yes,
they keep coming at you.
What you say don't mean anything. It's what they think that matters.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can't
so I
fight
accommodate to her, yes.
You accommodate the women.
I accommodated her.
Her?
Her, yes.
Okay.
Whatever she wants.
All right, let me have you stop talking, but because you're about to talk yourself into some trouble. Go ahead, ma'am. So that's the first
incident.
odd incident you all have had.
Then after that, they had a robbery of some sorts on their property, which they confronted us with. I don't know if they actually thought we robbed them or not, but they said that it had came from a path from our property to their property.
Sir, stand up, please. State your name.
Vernon Weaver.
Did you burglarize the man's house?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
You sure?
He doesn't have anything I need. I didn't burglarize him.
What was the next incident?
Mainly their dogs.
All right.
Their dogs. One of our dogs had been killed earlier after they had moved there, and I presumed it was their dogs. They had been killing sheep and chickens.
Their dogs had been killing sheep and
Yes,
chickens.
other neighbors, and they had been running in a pack. But
Sir, let me get some background from you before we go to the actual incident that she's suing you for.
My neighbors are pretty good. We have a wire fence that divides our property. My dogs, I have 2 black lab. I have another neighbor that has goats and sheep. When they stick their heads into the wire to my property and got stuck because their wires are too big when they put their animals, my dog would bite their head. So they're blaming my dog for that. My dog lives on my own property. And
This isn't her. This is the other
this
neighbor.
is the other neighbor.
And
Well,
what
this
happened?
neighbor here.
I know, but what happened with the other neighbor? Because obviously they're suing you for veterinary bills, and it's probably related to your dogs doing something.
Right.
And you're telling me now about an earlier incident where your dogs bite off the heads of sheep and goats.
Well, actually, they used the wrong fence, and I offered to help them.
Did
and
they sue you?
No, but every time my dog bit their goat, I bought it. I paid them for the animal. Whenever they accuse
So
my,
instead of fixing the fence, you just kept paying.
well, it's a pretty long fence.
Go ahead, ma'am. You tell me about what happened in this incident.
this last pack of dogs that he has would charge constantly at the fence at us. And we had asked them, please put them away because we were afraid of them. They eventually started roaming our property at will.
How did they get onto your property?
They
if
would
there was a fence?
climb under the fence. My husband and I tried to repair that. We asked him as well to repair it. Then they started, according to him, knowingly jump over the fence.
Sir, is this true?
They feed my dog's treat at the fence line, and the dog thinks that's part of the owners. They go over there to visit them, to
get
eat
treats.
To eat
No.
treats. When their dog broke out of the kennel,
That's not
We're
true.
not talking about that yet.
Mm-hmm.
My question to you is, did you know of the efforts they made to fix the fence?
Yes, I made effort also myself to fix the fence, to mount it.
What about, did you tell them that your dogs were jumping over the fence?
No, I never told them that.
Yes, you did.
Did you know they were?
I saw them jump over once coming back because they chased the cats that came over to my house, and they had went over the fence because I can't help that. They
Your
were just
dogs
puppies, Your
jumped
Honor.
over the fence
Yeah.
to chase her cat.
No, not her cat, the other neighbor's cat. And then ended up in her property.
And then ended up on her property.
But they were just puppies. Now they're older and they don't leave the yard anymore.
Why? They can jump higher now.
Well, but they know better.
How do they know better?
Oh, I told them.
I'm glad you're used to paying for your dog's actions, because it sounds like you're about to pay again. If things keep going like they are, sir. So what ultimately happened with your dog, ma'am?
His dogs ultimately got into our field and they attacked our dog on our property in an area that what we call a paddock. And I have pictures to show you.
Let's see it.
They're very graphic. And I also have the veterinarian report that Joe refused to look at, a promissory note, animal control report. We have asked them several times to please put them away, and they now are back on our property again.
That's very graphic.
Can I say something?
You
And
have
on
the
the
animal control report?
Please.
Yes, they were in
And
there.
did they contact him regarding your complaints?
Yes, they did. Animal-
Sir, you've been contacted
That's
by animal
animal care,
control
yes.
regarding
Yes.
your dogs?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what did they tell you needed to do?
They had me construct a kennel, in which I did.
All right, so if you had to construct a kennel after the attack, doesn't that suggest to you that you were in the wrong, or do you admit being in the wrong?
I told her that if it was my fault, I was willing to pay the bill, okay? And when I went over to the fence, there was a hole in the fence. Their dog got out of their kennel, came over to the fence, and fought with my dog.
That's not true.
Fought through the fence?
Through the fence. there's blood and hair on the fence itself, the regular
Are
property
you
line
saying
fence.
that's what caused these damages?
Yes.
Fighting through the fence.
Fighting through the fence. 2 dogs.
How
3
big
dogs.
was the hole in the fence?
Well, the fence itself has big holes this big. So evidently, my other dog has stuck their head in and fought with the dog through the fence.
Sir, this in no way could be achieved through a small hole in the fence.
Well,
This dog's body has been ravaged.
Yes.
How can the body
I don't know
get
if-
through it? You don't know.
I
Common
think-
sense should tell you it can't happen, sir. If the hole is that big, how can the dog's body all throughout be damaged?
well, I have 2 dogs. Maybe one dog was grabbing him on one side, the other dog grabbed him on the other side.
That's not funny, sir. This isn't funny. This isn't funny. How's your dog doing, ma'am?
He's doing well.
How long did it take for rehabilitation?
It probably took him a month.
Right.
I had to stay up with him when I brought him home. I actually took him to the veterinarian. I brought him home that same night. I had to stay up with him for 3
Let me
straight
see your
days.
bills, your veterinary bills.
I have a promissory note as well.
You agreed to pay?
Yes.
Sir, is this true?
Yeah, I told you if I was wrong, I would pay for it.
So
I'm
why
not-
are we here then? Have you paid?
No. Because I don't think I was wrong.
Then why did you sign it if you don't think you were wrong?
Well, she was crying. She was outrageous. She wanted my credit card to go pay for the bill. And it looked like she had a couple drinks. And I told her, look. And she wanted me to sign the paper. And I said, just to make things easier, because I have to go to work, I said, look, I'll sign something. If you can prove that I'm wrong, I will pay for it. I'm not denying.
You should have determined that before signing it.
Well, she insisted I sign it right there and then. And being a good neighbor, I didn't want to keep seeing
I
her
called
crying.
him. He went to his home first, assessed his dogs, etc. Then came to our home, looked at my dog, helped me load my dog in my truck to take to the vet. I went to the vet. I actually brought my dog home. They wanted to keep him longer to take care of him, and I brought him home not to incur further bills.
At what point did he sign this, though?
He signed that before I went to the vet.
Okay, after observing your dog's
Yes.
damages,
Yes.
after discussing it and going back to look at what his dogs may have looked like
Yes.
or the situation that was,
Actually,
yeah.
I didn't go look at my dog. I went straight to her house.
The fact is, we do know that her dog suffered from immense damage. You had been cited previously by Animal Care. Your dogs, the previous pack of dogs, ran the grounds and damaged other folks' pets in the past. Judgment for the plaintiff, $2,187. Good luck to you.
I would like to say I hope we can now resolve this
Yes, we
and
do.
be good friends.
And I'm very sorry, and I'll never intend
Thank
it.
you.
And
Very much.
yeah,
I know.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you very
I'm
much.
sure we'll have a better relationship.
I think
And I
we'll just
will-
keep your dogs on your property.
Yes, I will.
Yeah, okay.
They're getting smarter now.